I'm Freddy Schroeder, and this afternoon I'm going to do a program on Neutralite and on our body and our cells and how they work and how we nourish them. And what we have is a food supplement, and it's not really vitamins and minerals, but the vitamins and minerals do come from the food supplements. And our Neutralite is not made to meet a price, but to meet a need. And the products have been on the market for over 90 years, and it's been a proven product. And Neutralite does not use the fibers, only the extracts from the food factors. And so that makes it extra concentrated. So whenever you're looking at a bottle and you see that it has so many milligrams in it, that's a unit of measure, just like these products are concentrated, and so maybe 100 milligrams will give you even more benefits than another product that has 300 milligrams. And so that's something kind of important to know when you're looking at, because most people, when they're trying to compare their food supplements, are always looking for the IUs, and they think that more is going to be better. It's going to be how your body, if your body actually can use the product that you are taking. So you can see up here that this is the Neutralite story. It's the biggest, and there's no other vitamin manufacturer that is larger than Neutralite. It's many more times than, if I would take the notes on the seminars, I would be able to tell you how many more, many more times larger than Centrum, which everyone has heard of. And Neutralite actually invented the vitamin and mineral, multivitamin and multi-mineral. And I will be giving you a handout at the end of the history, how Carl Lindbergh, who was a biochemist, was in China and had discovered the need for supplementing our food because they were starting to process food, and in that process was taking away the vitamins and minerals that were necessary for good health. And then they were the first to consider children in the 1950s. Now the vitamin and mineral supplement was around 1936, and the people that took it were either the desperate or the intelligent. There were people that had health problems that they had given up because there was nothing that the doctors could do for them, and when they took the Neutralite concentrate as a supplement, they would get better. Well, actually what it was vitamin B12 was already naturally in the supplement, and it was 1948 when vitamin B12 was discovered. So they couldn't make it synthetically before that time because they didn't know about it. And so every time there's been a new vitamin discovered, and they've gone back and done the assays, they will find that it's already been in the Neutralite concentrate, because they use such a range of plants that do give these nutrients to our body. Okay, so they discovered phytonutrients, and we are going to be talking a lot about phytonutrients today. And from the ground to the finished product, they're the only company that grows its own plants for concentrates. And they use organic farming techniques. And Neutralite owns more than, and it's way more than this 7,700, because this is an older piece of literature. But they're at 4 locations throughout the Americas, and most of them are in South America, Mexico, because they go where the ground has never been contaminated with any chemicals in that. And then they enrich the ground with organic materials, so that, and even pay the farmers around these farms not to use any chemicals, because they do not want any cross contamination. So then the trout farm which is up in Washington State, I believe, at the base of one of the volcanoes, is the largest organic herb farm in the United States. I just listened to a seminar by Dr. Stuart Min, and he was talking about that they now have an herb facility in China where they are grown, and he said it just blew him away. It was much more, into being healthy and non-toxic and everything like that, to get the very finest in the herbs that can be beneficial to the body. And they have voluntarily followed the GMP, which is good manufacturing processes, because vitamins and minerals are not regulated. So whenever you buy some in the store, they don't necessarily have in them what is on the label. And this is something that is kind of scary. But with the Nutrilite, you can be sure that you are going to know everything that is in the supplement. And they spend their money to invest in research and development and have more than 700 scientific professionals and support staffs. Now go on to the next page that's there. And this should be saying bioavailability, nutrition, and why some supplement ingredients are better than others. You may know that taking a multivitamin and multimineral supplement is important for optimal health and well-being, ensuring that we get the nutrients that may be missing from our diets. Did you know that all supplement ingredients are not all supplements ingredients are equal? The nutrients in some supplements are more bioavailable. That is, our bodies can better absorb them than some others. And so nutritional science have found that the conditions in which the plants are grown can affect their phytonutrient content and nutrients biodegradability. And phytonutrients are plant nutrients that offer a variety of health benefits. Okay, this is just another picture of how they're safe and effective and concentrates. And this is a picture of the farms that they are grown on. I have a video that's very interesting. The farm in Mexico, it's like a whole city, and they have schools there, they have dental facilities there, hospitals. It's just, and everyone out in the field is wearing the cap and, making sure that they're not contaminating the plants and everything. But it's very, very interesting to see to what degree they go to try to ensure that you are getting the safest ingredients in the supplements. Okay, so I've already kind of covered phytonutrients, certified organic farming, that they were a pioneer, and how they spend their money on research and innovation as versus advertising. When you see products advertised, you know that you're paying a good deal for the advertising and the price of the product. You don't hear Nutrilite advertised, and so a lot of times, doctors haven't heard of it, healthcare people haven't heard of it, but that's not because it's not the best product to take. It's because they are the largest, because their products actually do what they say they will do. On the board there, I have got a cell, and that's what that round thing is. And in the middle of that cell are electrons. And I'm just going to read you a little bit about this. These antioxidants, those are little things that's around the outside of the cell, are like soldiers that are preventing those free radicals from getting in. And when they hit those electrons, they kind of mess them up and that. And the antioxidants here are vitamin A, C, E, and selenium. and that's like your soldiers. And so how these antioxidants work is scientists believe that compounds like vitamin E, known as antioxidants, may help thwart many common diseases by taming harmful molecules known as free radicals. A free radical will attack a single electron, and a normal oxygen atom has 4 pairs of electrons, and the body's natural metabolism can rob the atom of an electron. And it is now a free radical which tries to replace the lost electron by raiding other molecules. And when the free radical takes an electron from a molecule in a cell wall, a new free radical is created and a chain reaction begins. And the chain of the electron thief erodes the cell membranes, leading to the disintegration of the cell and opening the door to cancer and other ills. And because of their molecular structures, antioxidants can give up electrons to free radicals without becoming harmful, heading off the dangerous chain reaction. So that's why it's important to have these antioxidants to fight so that those free radicals can't get into the cell. What is the next video there? It should be something that says DNA. Is there anything about DNA up there now?
Yeah, right there, bro.
Okay. DNA is the blueprint for the cell, and it tells it what to do.
How about you record? And I do.
And if toxins in the body cause mutations because the blueprint is wrong, then it goes off track and messed up and then creates a bad cell. Cancer, heart disease, and arthritis, and that. So I thought that was pretty interesting, to know how important it is and what can be done. Repairing DNA is so important to keep your body at optimal levels all the time. Okay, and then there is the macronutrients that we need to nourish our cells, and that would be the good fats like the olive oil and the carbs. And the carbs are, we'll talk about the type of carbs later. It's not the white carbs like pasta, rice, and white potatoes. And then the proteins. And then the micronutrients that are important are vitamins and minerals. Okay, and when you have those and they're going into the cell, they're going to start the engine. And the engine of your body, one very important one is the elimination of waste, and they come out through the skin and also through the bowels and bladder. And in a car, you have the gasoline in the gas tank, and that's like the macronutrients, the foods that we eat. And then the micronutrients, like the vitamins and minerals, if you're really not getting them in your food, which you may not, because vitamins are destroyed by heat, air, and light. And so it's very difficult to not have your food exposed to any of those things. So the micronutrients are like the spark plug. And if a spark plug is not working in the car, no matter how much gas you have in the engine, it's not going to work. And so when you get to take the macronutrients and micronutrients, they go in to nourish the cells. And then it's important that the cells, the toxins and poisons can come out of your cells. And a lot of times when you start taking the supplements, you will have what they call a health response, because all of a sudden your engine is starting to go and you'll eliminate more waste. I mean, some people have even had like a little boil or something like that, and it's nothing to be alarmed about. In fact, it's something to be happy about, because you know that your body is eliminating waste. The same way with your bowel movements and that, you may be eliminating a little differently than what was normal for you, but don't be alarmed. Or if you have a headache, it's because your body is working, and it will gradually get out, and you will have more energy and more health in the future. Let's see, okay, and then the next up on the board there, we have, well, what I was just talking about, our nutrients go in and toxins go out. But around that cell wall, I have 2 lines, and that wall is made of 75% fat. And what can happen there is, well, this is the brochure to have up on the board. And it's called a normal blood vessel. And it has fat, sugar, protein, and macronutrients come through the blood vessel, and they must get into the cells to do their job. And a cell with a healthy membrane is covered with 75% fat, and it needs fat to perform. And the macronutrients that must get into the cell to do their job. And again, that was the protein, fats, and sugars or carbs. And the nucleus, the center control room, tells the cell what to do. Now what happens is that cell wall can get covered with synthetic fats, which causes problems. And these fats that they use in food will thicken and harden the food. They also will thicken and harden that membrane and clog the cell. And then the people will have to have Roto-Rooter go in and do some surgery. A blood vessel that's clogged with plaque, when the micronutrients can't get into the cells, they spill outside, and the cell becomes plaque and clogs the blood vessel, damaging the lining. And so then the body thinks it needs more insulin to drive the sugar into the cell, and it pushes out the insulin, and we become insulin resistant, or that is the diabetes. You can stop it. We're still talking about the healing power of phytonutrients. And based on the evidence that phytonutrients, they work to prevent the formation of cancer cells, the American Cancer Society now recommends that people can reduce their risk of cancer significantly by eating foods that contain phytonutrients. So that was just, this is just from other literature. And then this was another article, caution, store-bought vitamins are not phytoceuticals. Don't be fooled. Many of the supplements you find at your pharmacy, supermarkets, or on the internet use the same kind of man-made chemical mixes that Big Pharma uses. Don't expect the same kind of results you'll only get from real phytoceuticals. Many of the same companies that mass produce drugs in huge chemical labs also churn out vitamins and herbal pills sold in bottles with rainbows, sunrises, and flowers on their labels. That is why it's critical to use only recommended phytoceutical products. So, and then now I'm gonna go into phytonutrients, and it should say, there should be a video that puts up on the board that says phytonutrients add more color in your diet. Is there one up there?
Video or picture?
Picture. Okay.
That's it.
brain health, and you get that from the purple. And purple fruits and vegetables contain phytonutrients, quercetin, resveratrol, ellagitic acid, and many different types of anthocyanidins and procyanidins. And what to eat for that would be grapes, blueberries, boysenberries, eggplant, purple sweet potatoes, plums, beets, and blackberries. How many of you had that today? Did you have it? Good. Okay, and then the vision health and the key phytonutrients are orange and yellow fruits and vegetables that contain beta carotene, alpha carotene, beta cyptoxanthin, lutein, zeaxanthin, quercetin, and hesperidin. And what to eat would be pineapple, lemons, passion fruit, oranges, cantaloupe, carrots, apples, apricots, sweet potatoes, tangerines, squash, papaya, and corn. And then for your heart health, this is the red fruits, and they have the phytonutrients, lycopene, and you can read up there, beta carotene, and many others. They come from apples, cranberries, watermelon, pink grapefruit, guava, pomegranate, radishes, raspberries, strawberries, cherries, and tomatoes. And then the cellular health is the green fruits and vegetables that contain the phytonutrients, and there you have lutein and isoflavonoids and E, G, CG, and many more. And that would come from kale, collard greens, spinach, green peppers, watercress, zucchini, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, green beans, soybeans, and green tea. And then the bone and joint health is the white ones, and they would be from turnips, onions, mushrooms, horseradish, white kidney beans, parsnips, garlic, cauliflower, black-eyed peas, and pears. And then the supplements that would support all of these, of course, would be, we have the Women's Daily, and we have the Men's Daily, and then we have them in chewable forms. And of course, I forgot to bring the Neutralite Double X down. And that's what I use. Now, next would be supplements made simple, and we have the multivitamins, and that would be, these are the foundational ones. These are the first ones that you should take, because it gives you 22 plant extracts in them, which are the phytonutrients. And you have, besides these, and I should have brought this down too, the omegas, because the omegas are needed. That, I didn't finish that on that cell wall there that has all that plaque. What the omega-3s do is that they make that cell wall permeable, and so that your good foods and vitamins and minerals can get in and your toxins can get out. And I heard a doctor speaking on this many years ago, and he made the statement, this was even more important than vitamins and minerals. And I jumped out of my seat and I says, what? I now believe in vitamins and minerals. And what is this stuff that's supposed to be better? Well, then I realized that if your nutrients can't get into your cell, you're just wasting your nutrients. That's the reason why it's important to take the omega-3, is to make that cell wall permeable so that your toxins can get out and your good nutrients can get in. Then we have what we call the targeted vitamins, and that would be like for your vision and our vision health. I have a lot of testimonies on that. My aunts, one had glaucoma and one had macular degeneration. Both of them, well, the one that had macular degeneration took the supplements, and I had to take care of her because she had no children or anything, and she needed. I got her a place not too far from me, but I had to get her on her Medicaid, and I had to take her to the doctors and that. And she had lived in Kansas, and now we were in Nebraska. And I took her to an eye doctor, and of course then she needed new glasses. I went to buy the glasses. You know what they cost her? $2. But she was on Medicaid. That was, and so then, but she was very good. I gave her an assessment, which I do have literature here, 3 different pieces for vitamin and mineral assessments, specialty supplements, and herb and plant needs. I have those, but I gave her the test, and she was willing to take all of the supplements that she needed. It was a good thing because some people just love to take pills. I mean, you know, what is that? That's their status symbol. It's the more pills that they can take is the status. But anyhow, a year later, we had her like always for Easter and Thanksgiving. And when Thanksgiving she came, and here she had her old glasses on. I said, Aunt Esther, what are you doing with your old glasses? She said, well, I can't see with my new ones. Took her back to the eye doctor, and you know, her macular degeneration had improved to the point that she needed her old glasses again. I've never heard of it improving, but then my other aunt out in Kentucky, she had this high glaucoma, high pressure, and so she started taking them, and I happened to be at her house when she came back from a doctor appointment after she'd taken them several months. Because these products do not, they go in and they feed your cells. And just like it takes 9 months to make a baby, it's not a medicine. It's not like an aspirin, so you don't get well just overnight. You can't feel it. But if you have blood tests and look at the numbers, or like with her eyes, and I still am looking for the paper that she wrote down what her pressure was before, and that day when she wrote down her pressure, it was normal. So she was very happy. Another supplement that's been very beneficial to people is the bone and joint. And in fact, your mom, she has osteopenia or something, and my sister Kay, and now they've been taking this bone health, and they don't have those numbers, and so their numbers are better. And calcium magnesium is another one that has shown a lot of, and some of them, I guess they do make improvements, but it's just kind of hard to measure everything. So, okay, now the next thing I'm gonna talk about is this Nutrilite is a highly concentrated dietary supplement. And it's not a medicine, it contains no drugs, it's not a stimulant, and it does contain all of the vitamins and minerals known to be needed in human nutrition except sodium, and that's the mineral that's found in table salt. And there is, I thought that this was good. When you use a single vitamin, because a lot of times people will just want one vitamin, you are in effect sending the pitcher out to win the game and leaving the balance of the team on the bench. Many of our authorities agree that it is rare when a single vitamin deficiency is found. Multiple deficiencies are far more general. And so that's the reason why this is what's called a foundational. It's like you get all the vitamins and minerals, and then your body can pick and choose. And then if you need something more for your eyes or your joints or stuff like that, then we have the supplements for that. And then also They talk about, Thomas Edison once said that until a man can make a blade of grass, mother can laugh at scientists. We are not belittling scientists because they made wonderful advances in all fields, but man can duplicate ocean water with one exception: nothing will live in it. Scientists have put together all the known components of milk, but experiments have found that when fed to mice, the mice die. Plants are small factories where vitamins and other substances are manufactured. Plants furnish many of the nutrients necessary for normal growth and the maintenance of life. Now, doesn't it make sense that Mother Nature's product would produce better results than a man-made product? And so that's what the essence of these products are. Then, this is the story of Nutrilite and Carl Vinberg. I do have videos on him, and I have a book of his life. This is a collection of his essays and speeches and writings and that. And he was, in the early 1900s, he was assigned by the Carnation Milk Company to go to China to sell milk to the Chinese. And if you note, I think that the Chinese are not milk drinkers. So that would have been a pretty tough job. But while he was there, he noticed that the wealthy people were sicker than the poorer people, and he began to do research, and he discovered that in order for a wealthy mother to give birth to one healthy baby, she needed to become pregnant 12 times. The other 11 babies were either deformed, miscarried, or died of crib death, while the poor people had no problem bearing healthy children. He finally came to the conclusion that it was the food they were eating. During this same time, the British brought China polished white rice. Only the wealthy could afford to buy this rice. Dr. Rindberg studied this, and he discovered that much of the vitamin B was lost in the rice in the processing, and this was the reason for the difficulty in the wealthy women bearing healthy children. So he came up with the Nutrilite concentrate, and he was completely against putting any chemicals in the soil, and sometimes 90% of the nutritious part of the plant is lost during harvesting and shipping. So this does not make you wonder how much nutrition we're actually getting, even if we get fresh produce from the store. Okay, and then I'm skipping over because I'm going to give you a copy of this. Nutrilite XX was analyzed by an impartial party, and Dr. Urschel reported back 4 things he found to be true about the Nutrilite concentrate. The first three were: human beings live longer if they take XX. 2, people will have a greater resistance to disease. And I have noticed that, and it's been interesting, you know, when you go to meetings and that, and you listen to people in the hall during break times talk. This guy, he says, you know, since I take that XX, I have never had the flu or a cold. I used to always get them. Which, this, you know, you hear that a lot of times. And 3, people will have more energy and stamina if they use XX. And the 4th finding about Nutrilite concentrate is possibly the most amazing of all. He discovered 50,000 associated food factors in the concentrate. These are now called phytonutrients. And so that's the program that I have for you. I hope that you study the literature and that. And there is a video I want to play. Turn that. And then ice cubes in here. Okay, that's the chocolate drink. And then we have a vanilla one. And I drink this alone, or I make it into a smoothie with some ice and fruit and things like that. Another part is not good. How's it taste?
No, I'm alright.
Okay.
I've had it
And then
since
we
I
have
was
the
a child.
vanilla one, and I like the vanilla. I especially like it anytime I have cereal because it gives you so much. It gives you so much more protein than the milk, but it also has a little bit of sweetness in it, so you don't have to use any sugar or anything like that. Now, bring me some of those. I don't know whether I should do this or you should do this. I'm gonna hand them to you.
Oh, that's real good. You've got to get a hold of yourself.